Good afternoon and welcome to Padre's Ponderings without Padre today. But we're in the chapel and I feel really honored to have my friend sitting beside me. This is Stacy Green. She's the high school, what's your title?
Head of middle upper school.
Head of middle and upper school. I'm reading her tag. Head of middle and upper school. And this past week was really a monumental week in the life of Cross School. So I invited Stacy on so that she could kind of share with us just a little bit of a glimpse of the 25th year at Cross Schools. And we've been talking about it throughout the year, but it kind of culminated on Saturday morning. So kind of share with us, because you came to Cross how many years ago? 4?
This is my 6th year.
6th year. I was thinking it was 5. So you came on before there even was a high school.
Yep.
So in all of that pre-planning and all of that, how many students are going to come on board and just all of that kind of in the middle of the unknown.
Right.
So what was last week like for you?
Last week was crazy and chaotic, and me understanding exactly what having overwhelming joy in the middle of chaos truly, genuinely feels like. That's how I would describe it. Just utter joy.
So we had 16 graduates, right?
We had 16.
The service was perfect. Perfect. And I wasn't at the baccalaureate service on Friday night, but I heard that was really special too. And just that was on the historic campus. I loved that, kind of bringing both campuses together. Because many of those kids, this is a unique class because their 8th grade year was COVID.
Yep.
And typically, before we had the high school, we would have 8th grade graduation at the historic campus, and we didn't get to do that year. Right. So they had the baccalaureate on Friday night.
And that was their request. That was very, very special to them, and they wanted to be able to celebrate in that space as well as this. So, that was huge to me. And you truly got a sense of how special this entire place was to them.
That was beautiful. So, and it bridges together just where we started, the vision that was planted 28 years ago when Father Owens came here about having a Christian school in Bluffton, and then what we have today is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's amazing. And the kids are going to Georgetown, Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, South Carolina, a lot in South Carolina, going to South Carolina.
Yeah, several of them decided to go as a group, which I think is
Which
sweet.
is great, which is great.
Yeah.
They'll branch out once they get there, but there's some comfort in that.
Yes.
There's so much comfort in that.
Yeah, for students and parents.
So what's mission trip this year? So this year, tell me some of the highlights that you've had.
Yeah. Obviously every single year it was about first, right? It was just, it's been the last 4 years have been 4 years of first, which is pretty amazing and magical. This year, I think for all of them, the international mission trip, which the mission committee was a huge part of helping us to be able to go to that. We went to Costa Rica, and we were there from Saturday to Saturday. So we were there for several days. We got to help out in local schools, and there was about 3 different schools that we served in. Students they put on a play that they had practiced here with Miss Church in Spanish, and it was about Daniel and the lion. And so they were bringing others to Christ through their play, and then we painted some classrooms, we cleaned, we just fellowships and witnessed. We played basketball with them. We taught them some new games. They taught us some new games. The kids absolutely loved that. But they also got to go to to have some trips for themselves too, and go enjoy and see the beauty of Costa Rica. They got to have a lot of good bonding there. We had one student that decided to get baptized while we were there, which was pretty amazing. That was another first for me, that I got to be, Father Nathan allowed me to be a part of that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And that was incredible.
That was at the beach, right?
That was at the beach that we got to do that. Yeah. Almost as special as getting baptized in the May River. And the kids, I think just the bonding, being able to utilize all the skills that they've learned, they didn't realize how much they'd learned until they were actually having to apply that. And the language skills was huge. I think they walked away from that knowing, hey, learning another language is a way that I can actually share my faith with others.
Right, and it's a skill.
It's a skill. Yeah. So that was amazing for them.
So do you already have planned going to the same place next year or going somewhere different? Or is that in conversation?
That's in conversation. However, when we were there, one of the schools we attended, the head of school, because it was a very similar situation to us as Cross Schools. They were partnered with their church, and so they had chapel there, they had church there, but then they had school. But it was right in the middle of one of the most impoverished areas where there was a lot of human trafficking and other really difficult things, but there was this safe haven, this beautiful place where Christ was the lead, and the head of school there really was very interested in partnering with us specifically so that we could come back there each year.
That says a lot
Says
about
huge.
the team. Yeah.
So we are looking forward to that next year.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And thinking about how much more, now that we have done this for the first time, how much more we can be intentional with our entire, early education, lower school, and middle school in that process of building them up to be able to attend that mission trip. One of the very cool things that Father Nathan did this year was he taught the World Changers class. And that's the senior capstone. And so everything that they were doing in that class was also virtually preparing them for that. So just thinking about how even through that class we can do more things to coordinate with our lower school students. I think that will be huge and tie them to it.
That's so important. Like, that is an experience that they'll never forget.
Never.
Those students. And Nathan shared in his sermon right after coming back, and then he wrote about it in our weekly email about delivering the food and the kids carrying, I can't remember how many pounds, 50 pounds each kid had to carry of groceries.
They were 40-pound bags, but we walked pretty steep hills, about 2 to 3 miles.
In the humidity and
yes.
So our kids weren't really used to that.
No.
I mean, that was not something that would have been common for them.
Yeah.
But to experience that and then to be giving.
Absolutely.
In the process.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's amazing.
They were the most taken when we were doing that, and as soon as we walked into the homes, we were there to hear their stories, and we were there to pray for them, and they immediately wanted to pray for all of the kids before they were prayed for. And our students it was like, if you did not believe in Jesus, you believed in Jesus in that moment. You just saw the utter love in that moment, and they just were taken aback by that.
And that's so true, that it's more blessed to give than to receive. But they thought they were going in as the giver, and
absolutely
they were also receiving.
Yep.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. And like, that's how God's good started, was going away and seeing, the difference in life and what we can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then knowing that God's goods and the missions that they were being able to fund, that was a part of enabling us to be able to go there too, was just, that's a full circle moment. Everything you do matters.
Everything. Right.
The big and the small.
Such a beautiful thing. So right now there's music playing. I don't know if you can hear the bass coming from the field right outside the chapel. It is the last week of school.
Yes.
Do they come on Friday, or is Thursday half day?
Thursday for middle school and upper school is half day. Yeah, and lower school they finish on Friday.
So I asked her to come on the absolute, first week of school, Christmas break week, and this week are the craziest weeks of the school year that I remember, and you're just running on adrenaline.
Yes.
So what plans do you have this summer once you can kind of take a breath?
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy some time with my son.
Good.
Yeah. My son is a freshman here at Cross, and I've been so blessed by that. But, he's been along this journey with me too. And he deserves some mama time. So I'm going to be spending some time with him. We like to go to the mountains. We like to go. A little bit cooler? Yes, a little bit cooler. Yep, there's no service, so you can truly just rest in God's goodness and beauty, and go hiking and fishing and do that. We'll definitely be doing some. of that. We'll do a little bit more of school, but just furthering my education. Go to Boston for a week.
Very good.
Continue my specialist degree classes. So I'll do that, but that'll be fun because we get to go to.
And you've got a cohort, so you've got a group that when you get
Yes.
together, you're
Yes.
you're already connected, and it's
Yep.
a good fellowship and encouragement time too. So that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. So
All right, what about, do we have any teachers and like needs that we can share?
teacher needs.
Yeah, do you have a lot of hiring to do this summer?
We do have a few. I am currently looking for a 6th grade math and science and social studies person. I am looking for, if anyone has, those STEM background, makerspace. And I am looking for someone that could possibly fill in a few gaps with math and science upper school. So it's always good when you come to a private school if you have lots of different skill sets that you can plug into.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, we do have a few. We have that one upper school position that we are going to be filling just as we're growing and we're adding more people. And then that one middle school position. So
Okay.
yeah, that'd be
Usually
great.
we try to at least advertise in the summer if there's
Yeah.
some needs coming up, so you'll
Yeah.
find a link pretty
We're
soon.
always looking for good substitutes.
Always looking for
Yes, always looking for good substitutes.
That's
yeah.
always a need in a school, and it's hard to
It
find
is.
people to sub.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
well, very good. So if somebody wants to become a sub, what's the process? Do they
Yeah.
just call the school?
They can call the school. We also have a link on our website that says employment, and there's a form right there that they can fill out, and it immediately comes to us. So it's really easy, but if they can definitely call the school, and we can send that link to them as well.
Very
So
good.
it's pretty
All
easy.
right, so I'll put that in the e-news in the next couple of
Great.
weeks if anybody's interested in being a sub, because I often will get people ask, well, what could I do at the school? Well, how could I help at the school? And I usually say sub.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
And I know that Ms. Sykes in lower school is always looking for, people that want to come and just sit with kids and read and let the kids read to them because that's so important. And as much as they can do that as possible, is so good for them, especially in that kindergarten through 2nd grade.
I think
span, so.
even with our like retired folks, that's a great way
Absolutely.
for them to get connected. I know that we have one gentleman that does that in lower school already,
Yes.
just about
He's
every
amazing.
week, and he loves it. But a lot of our kids, their grandparents don't live here.
Yeah.
So that's another way for them to connect with another generation and
Absolutely.
for them to pour into each other. And it's so precious to see them sitting in the hallway reading.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. It's more blessed to give. It's more blessed to give than to receive. I think that definitely plays out in those relationships.
Yeah.
We have the cutest kids. We
They're
do.
precious in their uniforms. And, so Stacy was supposed to be in the dunk tank today, and I pulled her out of that duty. So I was watching them walk around out there. It's field day, so their games, blow-ups. Is
They
that
fin-
upper school, middle school?
That's
Is that
middle
everybody?
school. They finished their final assessments today, so this was their celebration. Yeah.
That's
Miss
such a
Canna
good
worked very hard
feeling.
to help organize all of that.
And
so.
she was sopping wet.
She
I
was.
saw her out there. Yeah, that's
I've
such a good feeling to finish those exams.
So they're out there, 13, 14-year-olds smiling and having fun. So we'll take that whenever we can get it.
Yeah. So construction will be starting later on in the summer, I think, right?
Yep. We'll
so
have
some expansion going on again.
Yep. Is as soon as really next week. Some of that will be starting, getting some new classrooms in, because that middle school especially is growing. And dining hall is coming along before long, so it's going to be exciting. There's never going to be a dull moment at Cross Schools.
That's the thing. I don't know if we don't go very long without having a construction project, so it's just kind of par for the course.
We're getting really good at that.
We're getting good at it, and we're learning with each time.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I just want to say thank you to the Church of the Cross, you and Padre and everyone on the team, because, being a part of this community for me, I came from public school and I was a proponent of public education. So when I came from public school into Cross 6 years ago, it just, I had no idea the blessing that it was going to be for me. And then to work in a Christian environment, but then to have the partnership that is there between the Church of the Cross and the school it just is such an incredible feeling. It's such an incredible feeling to go to serve, Cross Point on Sunday and see, lots of our parents and lots of our students sitting there in the audience and talking about school, but at the same time just being with them in a totally different way. It's such an incredible thing. And I, especially being in the cohort that I am in now, I know what an incredibly special thing that is. I know that doesn't always look that way in every school and church situation. And I'm so incredibly blessed by that. So
and I think that's one thing that since you've been here that we've really worked really hard to make sure that we're all on the same page, that we're supporting each other, that we're encouraging each other. And I too, it's such a blessing on Sunday morning to see Joe Almeida, the head of schools, to see Kathleen, his wife.
Singing.
She's one of our singers. To see your son, you guys helped with the Good Friday service. And just to see that connection is really beautiful. And to know that we love each other. I mean, and
we really do.
Yeah,
we love each other.
I mean, how often do we text a prayer or we know something's coming up that's big at the school, like, oh, here's some encouragement. And so it really is a team. So thank you for being a part of that.
Absolutely.
And Stacy joined the church. Was that last year?
I did. And my son got baptized in the river with Padre. We'll never forget him putting his hands on his shoulders and telling him, "I'm proud of you, son." That was such a great moment for me. But yeah, it's definitely family and home. And I think that everybody that is not even a part of the church community, if they attend school, but they're not a part of the Church of the Cross community, it's very evident to them. They feel that closeness. They feel that everyone's on the same team and rowing in the right direction.
And that's the thing about being the school. How we have the school established as a mission school. So you don't have to be a member of the church or, it's encouraged to be a member of a church, but we know that it's also an outreach opportunity for the community, and that was how it was started. And that was the intent, and that's where it's going to stay. So
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
so
beautiful.
I still can't get over how Padre, everybody was, obviously like, well, how does it feel? How does it feel after 6 years? And, and it was overwhelming. I mean, it was overwhelming, just joy. But the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Padre right back there and just thinking about what that would feel like for 25 years to have started something for 25 years and then see that coming to fruition and all of those people that are knowing about Jesus because of it. I can only imagine what that felt like for him.
He won't talk about it much.
He can be a man of few words when he wants to be.
Right. But you know what is every time he's sitting out there on it's kind of the stoop. It's the front steps area. There's a brick wall that he sits on, and it doesn't matter what the temperature is outside. But he'll sit out there with his cup of coffee, and I think that's got to be running through his head.
Yeah.
Like, he likes to sit outside and see all the activity and see the kids and see the parents coming in. And I think that's a part of it. Like, to know you started with an idea, a vision, 7 first graders, and now we have 700
That's just
students, and then you multiply families on top of that. So
and then how many of them are part of the church? Are a part of the church now too? It just you can't say that God doesn't live here. You can't say that His thumbprint is not all over this place. And
it is wild to think that 28 years ago, literally, this was all pine trees. There was a 2-lane road on Buckwalter. But it didn't even extend the whole way. So to see, wow, what's changed, and he still has vision.
He still has visions. He's still looking ahead.
We're still moving. So, but thank you for being a part of it and being a part of the team and your friendship too.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm not going to keep her too long because she has, I don't know, they might still get you in the dunk tank. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
But I just wanted to remind you, next Wednesday, so a week from tomorrow, is the first Rooted session. You don't have to come every week, but we do encourage you. They're 10 weeks. If you could try to get to at least 7, we'd love for you to sign up. There's a kids program. Kim Clark, who's on the school board actually, is developing a program for the kids for Rooted. There's a youth portion of it and then for adults. And it's going to be a really beautiful time to come together. I think we have 121 adults so far signed up, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. Nathan preached on it on Sunday, so we've had a kind of an uptick on the attendance. We'll be putting out information about food probably the beginning of next week, so you can sign up for that. But looking forward to it, so don't forget to sign up and get involved with Rooted. I think Stacy's going to be there too. So.
I will, and my son.
Yes,
for sure.
So, all right. Well, everything that we knew, I think this is what he says, everything that we do, know that God loves you and we love you as well. So go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you for having me.
I've got the